What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. Air attacks are dominating within the game right now, and we are going to show you many different variations for the 3-star in today's video, starting off with the Queen Charge into LavaLoon. We also have the Electron attack, we have the DragBat attack, and all of these strategies will be displayed at Town Hall 10, but we will give you tips and advice in terms of other Town Hall levels. Now, in terms of the Queen Charge, it is in essence a kill squad in itself, so you are wanting to get some key objectives, and you probably know this, but most of the time that is going to be the enemy queen and the clan castle troops. So on this one, we've used the king at the top of the base in order to create a funnel. Then we just need to create a funnel a little bit at the bottom here in order to drive the queen into the base itself. The first rage spell comes in onto the healers, and notice how the healers are just inside that rage spell as well. It means that as the queen comes forward, the healers are still within that spell. That is the main thing that you want to have within it. Now, the enemy queen and the enemy clan castle troops do us a favour here. It actually aggroes our queen and pulls her into the base. So the funnel doesn't have to be massive as long as you've got the buildings or the other troops in order to draw the queen in. Also, take note of this minion down here as well. That is often very helpful if you have a lava hound in the CC. Just put one minion in, and what that will do is take out the lava pups that are attacking the queen, because although your queen is part of a kill squad, if she gets the value and goes down, it's not the end of the world. But if you can keep her alive, notice what she's doing here. She helps to take out this expo, pops across to the sweeper, and then she's going to try and get down towards the multi-inferno. However, the LavaLoon has already started at the top. The Stone Slammer comes in from the side in order to keep the balloons coming down through the base, and the spells are very important. So we did commit a lot of rage spells onto the queen early on, but we do have a multi-inferno and a wizard tower, so we do have to save onto that haste. The loons actually get there prior to the queen, although she would have got through that wall eventually and got down to that area. We also have the cleanup troops at the top here, very important just to come in from that opposite side and make sure you don't time fail. But that is the Queen Charge LavaLoon, and we will move on to the DragBat attack. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for all of my Clash of Clans videos. You'll get notified whenever I go live as well, because I don't have a live stream schedule. I do just use that as a spontaneous thing moving forward. However, moving on to the DragBat attack, we have Landon coming in. You actually seen this live on one of my streams a couple of days ago, and he talked us through this attack. So initially, setting up the funnel with the baby dragons on either side, he's going to be pressing through the base with the dragons, and the DragBat has to be used away from splash damage. So you can see wizard towers at the bottom here. That's clearly not where you want to bring in the bat spells. That's where the dragons come in, and you can see this area at the top with the air defense, the single inferno. That is where the bat spell will be used. So the king and queen again on either side, just helping to narrow this path a little bit, meaning that the dragons can come through the base a little bit better, and the queen can also get in here and nab an air defense, which is very helpful. Although she does go down to the CC, it's not the end of the world. We can then start at the bottom here, bringing the dragons in since we've narrowed that path. And you do have to come in from a V shape. You can see if we deployed the dragons from one side, they'd not really funnel themselves very well. And again, notice the Stone Slammer. We do have loons spread in there to try and protect the dragons, lock onto the single inferno, but the Stone Slammer was aimed towards that area as well. Balloons actually do their job and take that out. Now, you do want this top area down and out, prior to the dragons getting there. So he could have even waited a little bit longer in terms of the bats, but essentially you want to merge these troops together. You want the bats and the dragons attacking defenses at the same time. So you can see that the bats actually came down to protect the dragons, and this base is crushed at this point. A couple of the dragons are caught over by the lava hound, but essentially there's nothing else that needs doing. Uses the haste just in order to help with time, but had more than enough to get this base done. All of the defenses wiped out, and that is the power of the DragBat on select bases. It is a lot harder at Town Hall 10. As you move up to Town Hall 11 and 12, the bat spell isn't nerfed as much, so actually you can have a better effect, but there's more splash damage defenses as well. You've kind of got to take into account the spread of the base and what value you can get. Now, all of the attacks here are by Toxic Rabbits. If you're interested in joining the Buy Forever family and Toxic Rabbits specifically, you can join my Discord server. The link is in the description, and you will find all of the information you need from there. You can also join my Discord just for a bit of a chat. We do help each other out in terms of the Clash community, so like we said, that is down below. Moving on to the Electron attack strategy. This is actually one of my favourite attacks at Town Hall 10. I very much like using the Slammer to come in, or the Battle Blimp, but a lot of the time the Slammer is the better option in order to clone the balloons and get good value. So what we're doing at the minute is checking for black air bombs with the loons, and we're also trying, you'll see in a second here, to distract this sweeper so that the Battle Blimp can do its job, or the Stone Slammer, shall we say. Again, you need to look, I did a video on this not too long ago, you need to look at the pathing of the Battle Blimp and the Stone Slammer. The Stone Slammer can give you better value if you can ensure the pathing. Now what we've taken out there is the CC troops and the Queen, and essentially they've done very well at carving a path here as well, so that we can bring the Lava Hounds down and around the LavaLoon, shall we say, behind this sweeper, because we've essentially made the top one here irrelevant from the LavaLoons coming in. Let's zoom down to the bottom though. As you can see, the LavaLoon coming around. We do have a heal spell in this one, because coming to the back end here, again, it depends how you want to do it. I actually quite like using the heal if you can ensure that all of your loons will be in that area. Gives them a nice boost, and coming into this final splash damage defense, it actually doesn't matter if they take a bit of damage now. They've made it through. We managed to protect so many of them loons with that spell down here, and essentially now the base is history. Again, we've got minions around the base for cleanup. Everly important if you do have buildings on the inside as well. You do need to take note of that, make sure that you don't miss them. So likewise, since there's an archer tower here that was missed, I think that was essentially factored in. We didn't realise that that was going to be missed. We could have put a couple of minions up here for efficiency, but more than enough to obviously get this done, and that's where the surgical loons can often come in. So as your LavaLoon is moving around here, you can bring 2 or 3 loons to take out these defences on the outside, but again, they are just minor things. It's really just improving that efficiency slightly more than enough in terms of getting it done on this one. So we'll move back to the Queen Charge LavaLoon, because I honestly think the Queen Charge, if you haven't already, is something that you should be trying to practice. Now, the reason I say that is it's going to serve you well moving up to Town Hall 11 and 12, and also when you're looking at the in-game Clan War Leagues, the Queen Charge is something that can provide massive amounts of value for you, where you need to ensure that 2-star, it can 1, give you lots of percent, so long as you don't accidentally miss the Queen's ability or a spell or something, then it is disaster. But 2, you can also factor in the Town Hall into that as well. So thinking about what we said last time on the first attack you've seen of this, we want the CC, we want the Queen. Now we've created a funnel with the King on this side, funnel has been created on this side, jump spell is in for the Queen to get straight in. Now look at this little channel as well that she can actually step into and and walk along. The queen here in the middle will be aggroed across, and we can indeed get that. Unfortunately, our queen is drawn across to the cannon first, then decides to come back and goes into the larger area, and not quite what was planned here. I think we wanted the multi-inferno and the queen from this initial compartment, but the queen decides to do her own thing, come across to the left. Still works out, guys. We just have to be a little bit more patient, and sometimes that is what it's all about. Unfortunately, queen decides to take a wall because of the king, essentially doesn't want to go down to that multi-inferno, but not to worry. Look at the value she has got. She's taken out this bottom section, meaning that you've got the pathing of your LavaLoon now as well. Now the loons at the top here again are very good because it means you can control your LavaLoons through the base itself, and in comes that stone slammer as well. That is a good thing about the queen charge. Again, you don't necessarily need a siege machine, and the stone slammer is amazing for merging in with your LavaLoon. Queen finally decides to go down and get that multi, amazingly distracts this wizard tower as well, so that our loons can get over the top of it and take it straight out. And again, just look at the amount of loons left over. Loonraker did an amazing job on these two attacks, a 6-pack in this video for you. Brilliant stuff. And again, just check out the finer detail. The cleanup squad coming in from the top here, and we're pinching in from either side in order to finish off these defenses. Queen still alive. Again, if she goes down, it's not the end of the world as long as you've got the value, but if you can keep her alive, definitely try and do so. She'll help with cleanup, and again, she will also be able to help you with some of the defenses. Obviously that one, we kept her alive, and she was able to then take out that multi, which undoubtedly helped us in that attack. Final attack for this video then, we have a DragBat attack, and I don't really even need to talk this one through with you surely. We have the sweepers down pointing this way, we have all of the wizard towers and splash at the top here, and the air defense and multis at the bottom here. So clearly we're going to use the DragBat down this area, drags into this area, but we've created a funnel first with the queen here, also sniped off this air defense, and the king does the same at this area, meaning that we've condensed the dragons coming through. They're not going to split all over the place, they're actually going to be focused straight onto them wizard towers. And again, if you've got some loons, make sure you can merge them in, because they are going to help hopefully take down the single infernos. In comes the bat bomb towards the single inferno on the back end, and the air defense, as long as you can get it in quick enough to protect your dragons, it's going to do a good job. And because there's no splash damage there, you can see how they sweep across to these other buildings as well, just about getting that expo out. The single inferno on this side was missed in terms of the dragons. Quite unfortunate, could have counteracted that by putting the slammer in from this area maybe, but again, it all depends on how your raid goes down. If you've got that initial planning good and you've selected the correct strategy for the base, you can afford some mistakes and it can still turn out okay. And that is where the air meta right now in the game is absolutely brilliant. And in my opinion, the balance and meta across the game is actually really good. I think there's very good variety across the town hall levels. I think the game is in probably the best place it has ever been for a while. But make sure to let me know your opinion down in the comments. Leave a like if you've enjoyed this one, and the subscribe button is right across there on the screen. Until next time, peace out.